All right, I think we're all set. Let's go. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to my stream. I'm Pierre, your host. I hope you're all doing great. I know that I am. Thanks very much for asking. So, my friends, like usual, let's start off right away by going over to the computer and let's check out what we did yesterday, and we'll tackle our day from there. So, what did we do? It was pretty easy, I must admit. We started off by adding some shading to our black background, which we had to put 2 coats, which took 2 days, unfortunately. And then we added the first coat of our green paint on our centerpiece. So what are we going to do? We are going to continue immediately by going over, getting some paint ready. And what we are going to do is put the second coat of this green, and then with some white paint, we are going to put some plants all around our painting so that tomorrow we can put the first coat of colors on our white plants. Why white? Well, for the simple reason so that the colors will be more vibrant, more brilliant. They'll stick out, they'll jump at you, and that's what I like. I like nice, psychedelic, bright colors. So, I have the green paint here from our last session, and I have the palette. Everything is right here. Very practical. I have my knife, which isn't very far as well. And let's get some green paint on this palette. Since it is the second coat and its job is only to hide the brush strokes, we don't need that much green paint. So that should do it. And if there's not enough, well, I'll just add some. No big deal. So let's get this out of the way. Before we do anything, we are going to clean our knife off. Whoops. Sticky rags. There we go. Clean off the knife. There we go. So, let's get this done. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay, so got the materials all cleaned off. Now let's pick the right paintbrush for the job. And what am I going to use? I am going to use a paintbrush that the hairs are very soft. Very soft, so it will hide the paintbrush strokes very easily. First, I'm just going to put some water and get this paint to be the right texture so it goes on the canvas the way it should. There we go. There we go. There we go. There. Now, if I was mixing several colors together, I would do it on my other camera, on camera number 1, and we would do it together. But just to put some water with the green paint straight out of the can, it's really not rocket science. It's not that thrilling or interesting. So I'm just going to do this very quickly right now. There we go. Just want to blend this in because I don't want it really to drip on the canvas if possible, as you can imagine. There we go. That looks pretty good right there. And to be sure that it doesn't drip, I am actually just going to completely dry off my paintbrush with my rag here and soak up all the excess water if there's any left. There. Okay. So, but what I will do, I will switch over to camera number 1, and I'm going to just bring it a little closer so we can follow what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to leave it off to the side so I don't stand in front of the lens. Of course, it does add a little bit of distortion, but at least you won't have to see my ugly face while I'm painting this circle. So let's do that, and I'll just switch this time full camera. And let's add this second coat of paint. And I am going to be careful to make sure I get the edges. There we go. Even though there will be some shading on this green, but we will do that when we decide exactly what we're going to paint here. I'm not too sure. Am I going to go with my symbol of positivity, which is a heart and a satellite ring around it? Or am I going to paint a mandala? I am not sure at this point. There we go. Actually, I'm not sure I'm going to have enough paint to do this whole circle, but let's just continue and hopefully, let's just get the edges first, which is the hard part, the part I have to stay concentrated on. There, okay, so we got that part done. Now all we have to do is just fill in the numbers. There we go. Just add a little dab of water. This is a good way to warm up too. Warm up before we start tackling our plants, which is what we're going to do in a few seconds. And I am not going to have enough paint here, believe it or not. No big deal. Yep. Well, maybe. I doubt it. Well, maybe. Who knows? Let's see if I can stretch this to cover the whole thing. If I don't have enough, I'm really not going to be missing much. I guess I do have enough. Just guess I timed this just perfect. Let me just get this little edge here, which has a little excess paint. There we go. Look at that. Very nice. All right, I didn't skip any places here. Don't want to be too stingy. Looks like, no, looks like I got it all. Very nice. All right. Okay, very good. Okay. Well, there we go. Got that part done. Very nice. So, what are we going to do next? I guess we are going to do our white plants. So I'll move this camera back for the time being. There we go. And so I might as well get the paint ready. So this is going to be a relatively short stream, of course, because once the paint is on the canvas, we have to kind of wait for it to dry. So probably have to wait overnight for that. And so what do I need? I need my knife again. And I guess I'll just use the cap to my paint can. Why not? I'll make a pretty good amount, even though I probably will have to make some more in a few minutes, but to get started, this should do it. There we go. And like usual, I am going to clean my knife. There, so I'll be ready to go for the next time I need it. Welcome back, Carter. Welcome back. Now, why in the hell am I singing that old song from the 70s? Old TV show? Lord knows. Why does that pop in my mind? I have no idea. Okay, so now I need to find the right paintbrush again. So what brush am I going to use for this? Many choices, many possibilities, but only one of them will do. This guy here, or something. Okay, well, I'm not sure what brush I'm going to use. All I know is the brush I picked is the one I'm going to use to get the paint to be the right texture. Let's do it that way. And I'm actually even going to just pour a little bit of water. That will make it that I won't have to dip my brush constantly to get more water. And let's just do the same thing as we did with the green paint. We're just going to mix all this with the water, blend it in so it's nice and homogeneous, and that it glides on the paint, on the canvas the way it should. There we go. I'm going to need more water than that, so another big drop. There we go. I do want to keep this as opaque as possible, but at the same time, there will be one, probably even two coats of paint on top of this white. So there, let's just blend all this together. I like having my paint to be a nice creamy texture. There we go. I keep turning the cap around and around as though I do have a big glob of paint right there. I don't know what that's all about, but I am going to take it out of there. Use this knife here and just a bunch of glob of white. Just throw that on the floor. The advantage of having a studio, can make a mess. And let's keep blending in this water and paint. It's just about done, I must say. Now the only thing I have to worry about is having the right size paintbrush, which I have my doubts on this one. It does look like I won't be able to control really what I want to do. So I'm not even going to try it. Instead, I'll just put it in some water and I'll wash it later. So let's figure out what brush I'm going to use. And I think I always like look at all my brushes and I always end up coming back to the same like 8 brushes, it seems like. I don't know why. Is it because I like them or because they are just right for the job? I mean, several of these brushes would do, but I'm just going to go back to the one I usually use, which I assume is the one that's soaking up the water right now. And then I do have these larger ones, but I think these will be for different kind of leaves. Use those a little bit later. I'm just going to start with the larger plants. So let's soak up a little bit of water. Get the water out. And let's work it in the paint. Make sure the brush is soaking up all the paint ready to go. Get rid of the excess water so it doesn't drip on the canvas. I'll just stir everything up using this new brush. There we go. There. This looks like it's ready to go. I'll just wipe off the handle because I do like having a clean handle to paint with. And then I'm going to get camera number 1 all set up. Again, I'll move it to the side so I'm not standing in front of the lens. Something like that. And I'm going to step back as well and take a look at what I'm going to do. Because if I don't see it, I can't paint it, right? Obviously. You have to see what you're going to do. Okay, I got that done. And you know what I would love to do before I start painting is have a sip of water. So I am just going to go back to my kitchen area over here. Just very quickly grab a bottle of water. There we go. Ah, yes, that feels good. So, where were we? Getting camera number 1 ready to go up there. That looks like it's all set. I'll bring it up and zoom in just a little bit, and I'll go to the double camera view. There we go. Just had to check my computer once in a while and make sure that the computer and my brain are on the same wavelength, and apparently they are. So let's do this baby here. There we go, something like that. Okay, very good. Here I'm going to have to be kind of careful because I'm right on the edge of the green. I don't want to get any green on this white. And like I said, it doesn't really matter because tomorrow it'll be nice and dry, and when I put the colors down, which will be probably purple, I can hug it, the green, without worrying because of it bleeding on my paint, on my colors, on my purple. So, okay, there we go. Okay, very good. And I guess I'll come back to camera number 1. Like that, I can have some materials to edit my movie. I'll bring that back. So I'm going to do that. One of these kind of guys, right, like that. There we go, very nice. Okay, so let me just step back for a second and take a look. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to bring this down here because I'm going to tackle a plant on the side, on this left side of our canvas. Just like that. When I started this canvas, I had no idea what I was going to do. What I did know is that I wanted it to be black and purple and green. Those are the colors I had in my mind. And then what's going to come afterwards, well, I had to play with that. So I love seeing colors first, and then after that, trying to execute them in well, any kind of a pattern. I am just going to switch over for a second to this dual camera here, and I will bring over my chair. There we go. Okay, maybe this has to be a little wider. I can't tell unless I get up. So let me just step back and take a look. Yes, very cool, very good. All right, so let's get one down here as well. So what am I going to do here? I guess I'm going to just have it. Oh, let me get this out of the way. And I'll bring camera number 1 a little bit closer. We'll kind of focus it on this area. Again, I want to get close to the green circle, but I don't really want to touch it since the green isn't dry. But it doesn't matter. I'll worry about that tomorrow when I put down the purple paint. And here I'm going to need my chair again. So let me bring this over like this. Just zoom in a little bit. And I'm going to switch to number 1 again. Wait a minute, what am I doing here? Okay. There we go. Just trying to get that graceful motion. I like my plants to be dancing on the canvas. There we go. And I'll have this like this. There, something like that. And I'm going to have to step back to actually see what I'm doing. Make sure everything is proportionate, if possible. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It just needs to be a little fatter on one side here. Right down here. Bring this guy over like this. There we go. There we go, make it nice and fat. Now let's see what this looks like as I stand back. Get rid of this excess paint right here. Yeah, much better, much better. And what should I do? Should I add one more down here before we put these smaller leaves and whatnot? I think that would look kind of nice though, right? Have a smaller one. Well, let's move this camera out of the way. I'm going to have to bring my chair for that. Where are you, my guy? Here you are. Get one in here, maybe a little smaller one. Well, I don't know. How is this going to work out? Let's figure it out when I'm sitting down. Let's get to work. Let's go over here. Yes. Something like that, right? Let's just get the general outline together. And then we'll get the details in. Something like that. We'll do the same right here. Just like that. Okay, I'll just fill all this in and then I'll step back and make sure the proportions are right. This might be a little fat up here. So what? No big deal. There we go. Very good. And let's get this baby here. Very good. And this one here, I guess we can fill in as well. And this one here. Up. Okay. I'm going to have to add one more little leaf up on this side right here, which will bring it down like that. And maybe something like that. You have to make it a little fatter right there. Yep. Again, I'm going to have to step back to actually see how all this looks. So with my nose on the canvas, it's not obvious. Let me just fix this guy here. There we go. All right, let's see. Let's see what we have. Okay, that's okay. It's not perfect, but then again, what is perfect? What is perfect in nature? Okay, so this is going to be the first phase of my painting. I'm going to do some leaves, a few other types of plants, like a spider plant or something like that. And for that, I'm just going to have to switch paintbrushes, something a little smaller, a little thinner, that I can control better. And I think I'll start with the kind of the spider plants first. Maybe one here, one there, and one coming off the green, or I don't know. Everything is possible. So let me just get a little bit of water on the brush. And is this going to be the right size brush? I'm not sure. Let's find out as we start to paint. Looks a little thin, but then again, maybe not. So, okay, so where am I on these cameras? Okay, I'm on camera number 2, which is very cool. I'm going to just bring camera number 1 over. Like that, we can do the split screen, or maybe for my movie, for the editing, for the recap, I can use this camera. This camera's a pain in the neck because it keeps getting blurry and not blurry. What's going on? Let me just take a look here for a second. Am I on manual or am I on? I'm not sure what I'm on. I'm going to just switch it for a few seconds here. I don't know if I put it on automatic or on manual, but it doesn't seem to get as blurry as much, so that's cool. So if I'm up here, am I in the way of the lens? Not totally, so that's the main thing. There we go. So let's try this little spider plant there, something like that. Looks like I could go with a little larger brush. I'm not sure though. I'm going to stick with the same brush and we'll see. Yeah, I'm going to switch brushes. It'll just take a second. Get one that's just a little bit wider. Which one would that be? This one maybe? Let's try it. Let's try it. I mean, if you have the right size brush, it just makes everything so much easier. Goes quicker as well. So, let's get this done. That looks pretty good. I'll come back to this guy here. There we go. Oops. Well, dropped a little paint. Fortunately, it fell on my plant, so that didn't matter. There we go. Okay, very good. Yes, that goes quickly when you have the right size brush. No doubt about it. So I'm going to do the same thing down here and grab my chair. Just going to do a little spider plant right here as well. There we go. Just like that. There we go. Maybe one more over here. Yeah, let's do it. Just leave it like that. That looks good enough. Let me just step back for a second, take a look. So I'm just thinking this out. I don't want to do too many of them. I'm either going to do one more here or one more here. Then I would like to have a few leaves. So I think I'll do one more right over here on the green by the edge of the circle. So I'll get camera number 1 in place. And I will just switch cameras. And let's do this without getting my hands in the green paint if possible. So let me step back for a second. Yeah, I'm going to keep it kind of down below here so I can add the green leaves above it. So I'm going to keep it down here. Just like that. I'm just going to do these guys first. Then I'll go back and tidy up alongside the green circle. Again, I don't have to hug that green surface because the purple paint tomorrow will do that. I don't know why I'm being stubborn and trying to bring it into perfection right away. It doesn't make any sense. Make this a little fatter over here. There we go. And I'll just add one more little guy right here. Just like that. If I can wipe off this white paint that's on the green. Okay, good enough. Good enough. Let me just, well, I could do this tomorrow with the purple. I don't know why I'm trying to do this now. Anyways, so we got that done. Very good. Let me just smooth this out so we don't have any weird marks tomorrow. There we go. Okay. So let me just come back to the dual camera and I'll move this baby back. Put him over here. Maybe put it over here as we go to tackle our leaves on that upper left-hand corner. And I am going to step back for a second here and take a look as well. Let me get this out of the way. And again, I think I'm going to switch paint brushes and grab one that's a little bit wider than this one still. Because I want my leaves to be a little bit fatter. There we go. Nice and juicy. There we go. Okay. Let me just mix my paint a little bit, make sure it stays nice, and there we go. Just wipe off the handle again. Lord knows we wouldn't want to get any paint on our hands, would we? There we go. So, okay, so let's get back to camera number 1. Let's tackle these leaves. I'm probably going to want one right here. Just like that. Very nice. Mm-hmm. All right. Very good. So I got to step back for a second. Very good. And this one we can just go like this. Get that corner done. Hoppa. There. Very good. Now, I would like a few, just a few, like right in here. So I will bring the camera over here. Move it back a little bit. There. So it's always that same thing. You want to find a delicate balance. You don't want to overcrowd it either. So I'm just going to take a second and make sure I think this out clearly. Okay, so I'm going to paint the leaves that I see first, and then we'll add where needed afterwards. So I wanted this guy right here. And I want this guy right here. And therefore, I want this guy right here. There we go. Just like that. And I am going to move to the upper right-hand corner now. So I'll just bring number 1 over. And I'll zoom in a little bit, just like that. And I'm just about out of white paint, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to work my way right here. Now, do I want this facing there, or do I want it facing like that? And I think I'm going to want it like this. See, that's what I mean when you get the paint the right consistency. It just flows on the canvas just so beautifully, so easily. And one right here. Oh, there we go. Just like that. And of course, that means this one will have to go just like this. Very nice. Very nice. One right here. And one tucked in behind. Just like that. And a little tip of one right there. So let's see what that looks like when you step back. Okay. That part looks pretty good. All right, so I'm going to come back down to this left-hand side, right down in there. And what am I going to do here? I'm going to just have a couple going like this, I guess. Just a few leaves like here. I'm going to leave this area blank so I can sign there my signature at the end, not do like I did with my last 2 paintings. had no place to sign. And Lord knows we know that's what gives these paintings so much of its value. So let's just work the white paint a little bit. It was kind of drying off a little bit. Let's add a little water. Work this again to a nice consistent paste. Nice creamy texture. There we go. What do I have here? Is this another blob of hard paint? It could be. Let me just grab my knife again. Oops, that's not it. Where is that knife? Right here. Ah, yes, it is. Let me get rid of that. There we go. Okay, there we go. I guess the paint is ready. Ready or not, here I come. That looks pretty good. Now, what did I say I was going to do? I was going to go over here and add a few leaves. I don't want to go too far up. I'm going to start it right here. Just like that. Very good. I am going to have to get my chair though. So, oh yes, okay. Let's bring this down like this. And let's have this one go over like that. Very nice. I'm going to have one in the shape of a heart, I think, right here. Fortunately, I do have water right next to me because there, and where am I on my cameras here? I am totally lost. So I am still on camera number 2. Okay. And number 1, where are you at? Yes, thinking about my painting and forgetting about the stream. There we go. So, there we go. Let's switch back to this baby here. Very nice. There we go. Just a little guy right there. And we'll just have this just kind of swirl over like that as well. Very nice. Shit, I said I was going to leave that blank so I could sign. I'll do that on the other side. Okay, so do I add one here in the corner? I gotta step back and see what this looks like. Yeah, I think it does need one right here. So I'll add that baby right now. Just like that. That should do the trick on that side. And then we will add just a few more on the right hand side. So I'll bring over camera number 1 and I'll zoom in a little bit right there, and we'll just add just a couple of leaves over here, right in this area right there, and I'll leave this area blank so I can sign it right there. So So let's do, maybe I'll do a triple one. So let's go and get this one done like this. Very cool. There we go, just like that. And you know what? Maybe I'll leave it like this. I'm going to step back again and take a look. And I'm going to leave it just like that. I don't want to if I do another leaf here, it's going to just be too much right there. And I think everything is just kind of spaced out just the right harmonious way. I am going to get my chair out of the way. I am going to step back because this could be the end of our stream for today. Obviously, if we were in the middle of summer, I would put on my fan on full blast, first of all, to stay cool myself, and then to have this dry and we could just keep working. But believe it or not, it's still awfully damp here in the studio. There's no heat on or anything. So it's just taking a while for things to dry. Yeah, even, you know, we started off right here and it's still pretty wet. So nothing I can do. Let me just move this baby back here so we can have a view of the whole thing of what we did today. There we go. So, that is the view from the window side of things. And then we have the view from camera number 2. I'll just leave it roll for a few seconds so I can edit it in my recap little movie to show people what we did today. And that looks pretty good. So, once again, we come to the conclusion of our show. So thank you for joining me. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow as we lay down the first coat of our purple paint. I'm afraid we're going to have to do that 2 days in a row. First coat tomorrow, second coat day after tomorrow. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. So anyways, once again, I want to thank you for joining me. Like usual, I'm going to leave you with 2 things. I'm going to leave you with my schedule, and I'm going to leave you by saying, ciao mes amis.